Usually around between 2 to 4.
Like 2 weeks ago, watching the Chicago game.
Oh yeah.
I got
You from here or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse number 1.
Bring it out!
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So when you come in to serve the Lord, you gotta prepare yourself for temptation. Because once you realize you gotta start keeping the commandments, that's when these demons gonna start coming at you harder and harder, man. Everything that you ever had a weakness for, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be turned up on 10. If you had a problem with smoking weed, then you know what I'm saying, that's when weed man gonna hit you up, start throwing you deals. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If you lusting after women, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna start seeing all the baddest chicks you've ever seen, man. They're gonna be throwing it at you. But you gotta learn how to resist that temptation, man.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Take precepts, stay diligent. The most I built this army, so now we militant. Yasharahla coming like a thief in the night. Gotta stay woke, gotta watch vigilant.
They're out here enjoying the beautiful weather. Just want to drive up and down the street. They want to find any kind of way they can freak off, quick to go get some tattoos, go smoke hookah. Man, but it's a Shabbat, man. That's right! It's destruction of Nicanor. This is the day we supposed to be turning up, man, rejoicing in the fact that the Most High kills our enemies, man. And he brought us through an Exodus once. He gonna do it again, man. But our people gotta learn that they gotta repent, come back to the Lord in these last days. Hey, brother. What's going on, man? How you doing today? You got a minute here to work? You ever heard of an Israelite before? You know what an Israelite is? Israelites are God's chosen people. That's right! It's like we've been kind of duped, over the years. We fell into all these different religions, of just finding, the pastor just telling us that God loves everybody when God actually has the chosen people. If you got a minute, we can actually break it down and show you who those people would be. You got a second? I'll just hit you with a couple quick verses. How do we get to what we know of as America? We'll find out, brother. Did we come here in a car? Did we hop on Southwest and fly over?
Nice.
This the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 16.
Bring it out!
All scriptures is given by inspiration of God.
It's given by what?
Inspiration of God.
No, it's all taught by men.
Inspiration of God. And it is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
So this word is meant to correct our people, man. And who else need correction more than the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man? The ones that hate each other, the ones that's killing each other, the ones who are quick to rob each other, the ones that's quick to steal your wife or your husband, the ones that's quick to run up in your house, the ones that's quick to sell you drugs. These problems ain't going on in nobody else's community other than ours, man. Give me that proverb.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1.
Read it out.
My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments.
Do what?
Keep my commandments.
I said, so that's the whole point, man. That's the whole duty of man, is to keep the commandments, man. What's going on, man? What's your nationality? Oh, yeah? What tribe would you come from? Oh, okay. Your father, Judah?
Yeah.
God. You ever heard this stuff before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where you heard it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, them brothers be putting in some major work, man. So, yeah, we definitely need you out here, you know what I'm saying, helping us. Being on this side, man. Gotcha. You know what you need to be doing in these last days? Yep. You know some commandments?
Yeah.
What you got?
Not shaving the beard, not eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster.
Right. Yeah, see, you got your ZZ song, man. Yeah, you're on the right track, man. Yeah, we WFI, we Watchmen for Israel.
Yeah.
We usually come out to this spot every Saturday.
Okay.
Usually around between 2 to 4.
Like 2 weeks ago, watching the
Oh yeah. You from here or? Yeah. Oh, okay. Where'd you go?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse number 1.
Bring it out!
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So when you come in to serve the Lord, you gotta prepare yourself for temptation. Because once you realize you gotta start keeping the commandments, that's when these demons gonna start coming at you harder and harder, man. Everything that you ever had a weakness for, it's gonna be turned up on 10. If you had a problem with smoking weed, then that's when the weed man gonna hit you up, start throwing you deals. That's it. If you lusting at the women, you're gonna start seeing all the baddest chicks you've ever seen, man. They're gonna be throwing it at you. But you gotta learn how to resist that temptation, man.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
I said, so a lot of times, in this walk, once you start knowing you start going through a lot of things, and that enduring the temptation is what builds you up and make you stronger.
It says, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
What do we got to do?
Order your way aright and trust in him.
So we got to have all our faith in him. It's time to let go of the doctors, let go of the pastors. Everything that's kind of holding you back, not actually helping you grow. You got to leave that thing in the past.
Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
He said that any of our forefathers actually leaned on the Lord and be confounded. Was Daniel lacking faith when he was in the lion's den? Was Jonah lacking faith when he was in the belly of a whale? Yeah, I'm like when Meshach, Abednego, what's the other brother's name? Yeah, but the three holy children, when they was in the fiery furnace, they had to have that faith that the Most High was gonna pull them out.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction.
I say, because the Most High gonna save you through affliction, no matter what you're going through. You gotta trust that the Lord is gonna be there to pull you out of that thing. You was on Proverbs 3.
See the brother over there? See the brother over there? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's what we bringing it out to. Oh, come on, all praises.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 4. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
So by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, we actually being the light unto the rest of the world. That's how we showing our people that they got to gather themselves together and return back to the Lord. Start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And you only get that through the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures. Bring that up.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 24. For all his days are sorrows, and his travails grief. Ye his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that we should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor.
I was like, so the Lord is saying that there's nothing, that's more great for somebody, is to be eating and drinking, like those are blessings that we overlook on a daily basis. Right. Just the fact that you got water in your house, just the fact that you got food on the table, that's a blessing. Not everybody got those things. A lot of people don't even have a roof over their head. But those are things just on a daily basis that we got to give praise for.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 17, verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set as ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion.
But who?
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Everybody is saved.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Everybody is going to get the kingdom.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
But God don't have a chosen people.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
So the lost tribes, man, them are the ones that the Lord has chosen to be his people. Them the ones that he going to give all the promises to. Those are the ones that he had a covenant with from the beginning. You know, nothing's changed. Like, if people think that the new covenant is going to be different, when that's just actually us being in the kingdom, you know, being on one accord, we're going to have the laws in our heart. We're going to have to be out here actually teaching each other the laws. What's going on? You know your nationality? What would you call yourself according to what we know of these days? You black, Haitian? You black? Mm-hmm. Your dad black?
I don't know.
You don't know? So yeah, that's a major curse that our people actually go through. Give me You ever heard you're an Israelite before? Or you ever heard other Israelites? But you believe in the Bible at all? So the Bible is actually a book of prophecy, and it's actually a story just between the Most High God and his people, which would be the Israelites. And we out here teaching that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans would be those Israelites. I'm gonna show you a couple ways that we identify ourselves as the Israelites, because we know that there's some people now that call themselves the Jews, right? So, but that's why they call themselves Jewish, because they are acting as they're the Jews. You know, that's why they you know, proclaiming that they're the original chosen people, but they don't have any actual proof biblically to show that they fit the curses of the Israelites, which would be in the book of Leviticus 26 and in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. But we're gonna bring out one of those curses. Actually, give me start at one. We're gonna read 15. So the book of Deuteronomy 28, it's got 68 verses in there. So the first one is going to break down what would happen if the Israelites actually kept the commandments.
This the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
No, we'll be equal.
Above all nations of the earth.
I said, so God has a chosen people, and if we actually kept the laws, statutes, and commandments, that we'd be on top of all nations. Read down to, jump to 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So verse 15 says, if we didn't listen to the Most High God and didn't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, then what?
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
That all these curses.
No, all the blessings.
That all these curses.
Now, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? Bad thing, right?
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And what does cursed in the city sound like? So don't that sound like every neighborhood we live in, where you got gated communities, where it's infested with drugs, where there's trash all over the ground, where there's homeless people sleeping on the bus stops? You got our people walking around just groping in noonday, just yelling at the sky. I seen somebody talking to a wall. Brother ain't even had no clothes on. That's being cursed in the city.
That's bad.
So then we cursed in the field. For this one over here, this sign over here, that's being cursed in the field. Where we had to pick the sugar cane, we had to pick cotton, had to pick tobacco. All those things are us being cursed in the field. Then you fast forward modern day, we still curse in the field because we at the ground of every establishment. You look, Sam's Club wouldn't be a big company if we weren't working at the bottom. Walmart wouldn't be a big company if we weren't working at the bottom. We're never the ones that's actually sitting up in these high-rise offices with our feet up on the desk making all the calls. Joe, give me 37.
37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
The thing is, since we ain't still with our properties, and we don't have the thing, because we do resale, so we don't purchase it from somewhere.
Hey, sister, you wanna stick around here to work?
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
See that? Satan coming immediately and take away the word, man. Being sown on stony ground, man. Keep going on that verse.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations where the Lord shall lead thee.
And that's our people, man. Destroyed, becoming an astonishment. And you ask what's your nationality? Just, I don't know.
That's bad.
Man, that's a cursed people right there, man. Give me that Ecclesiastes 12:14. I'll go to Ecclesiastes 12:14. I got Ecclesiastes 12. Oh, you got it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 14.
Bring it out.
For God shall bring every work into judgment.
I said, and every work that you do is going to be brought into judgment. When the word was coming out and you walked away, the Most High going to judge you for that, man.
Come back.
Yeah. You a man of your word, brother?
Say, hey,
Come back, brother.
say, come back out. We're going to be out here for a little bit, man. Say, this where you're going to get that daily bread at, man. The bread in there is defiled. It ain't no good for you. Keep going.
With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
I said, so them works, whether they good or evil, you're gonna be judged for them things, man. So you gotta live your life in a certain way, man. You can't walk around just doing what you want to do, fulfilling your own lusts, going after your own wicked deeds, man.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death, and evil. In that I commanded thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
I said, and we would have got that land flowing with milk and honey if we would have kept these commandments. What's going on, brother? See that? People damn smitten with madness. Just riding around town. I got baking soda. I bet you he ain't making no food with it, man. He in there whipping up something to give to his people at a low cost so they can just walk around destroyed, man.
That's crazy.
Killing ourselves on a daily basis, man.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 18. For manner of thing,
Scared of a camera. You on camera every day.
this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 18.
Bring it out.
For manner of things appear, got good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
So this word is going to rule over you continually, man, because the Most High is putting in front of you life and death, good and evil on a daily basis. But 9 times out of 10, our people going to choose death. They choose weed, they choose cigarettes, they choose prostitutes, they choose damn music that is destroying their mental. They choosing to be homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? Just caught up in folly. Brother ain't paying attention about destroy his car, man. Said our people are lost without this word.
This is the book of Judah, chapter 6, verse 3. This is Nebuchadnezzar. Okay. Nebuchadnezzar, he will send his power and will destroy them from the face of the earth. And their God shall not deliver them, but we his servants will destroy them as one man. For they are not able to sustain the power of our horses.
Yeah, all these idols, man, they don't stand a chance against the Most High people, man. I was like, when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord gonna fight for you. You ain't even gonna have to do it. The weapons, our weapons are not carnal, man. We fighting against wickedness in high places, man. Spiritual warfare. Keep going. You read down the verse.
This the book of Matthew, chapter 17. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
Let's say out of your heart proceeds the evil thoughts. That lets you know that heart is not talking about the organ that's in your chest. It's talking about your brain, man. Every damn wicked deed that you commit, it all starts as a thought. Read on.
Murderers, idolaters, fornicators, theft, false witnesses, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man.
I said all these wicked deeds are what defile men. Our people are murderers. Our people are idolaters. Don't even know it. They just think that if you bowing down to a statue, that's idolatry. But no, you can have idolatry in that phone. You can have idolatry with sports, with money, with music. Anything that take your attention from the Lord on a daily basis, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, that's idolatry, man.
Women.
God, yeah, especially women. That lust spirit, man, they got a hold on people so bad, man. That's why the Lord called this place spiritual Sodom and Egypt, man. Because this place is madness.
Kelly said you gonna bow down and ask that ass to marry you.
See that?
That's off.
It's madness.
Said he messing up from the beginning. Said man ain't even supposed to be bowing down. And then the fact that you worshiping booty, man, come on, man. Get it together. If you got to get the time to actually know a woman. You can't just sit there and just lust off of that. Because that lust only going to get you, a few minutes. And then she just going to be yelling at you all day long. Damn, smacking you up. Damn, letting anybody just come in the house and just steal your stuff. What's going on, man? What's your nationality? You're a Hebrew? Hebrew what? Israelite? So you heard this stuff before, huh?
I think we taught that before.
So now you know you Israel. What you got to be doing in these last days? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I said, but what sin? You know what sin is? Yeah, get that in first round.
3 and 4.
3 and 4, God. I was like, because the definition of sin is actually in the Bible. Bring it up.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law. For the sin is to transgress another law.
It says, yeah, so sin is anytime you transgressing the law. So that's how you brought up the kingdom. That's how we actually going to obtain the kingdom, is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Because anybody that's caught up in their filth, the Lord going to destroy them when they come back. You familiar with any of the laws? What laws you know of? None? What kind of food you like to eat? Nothing with swine. Yeah, that's definitely a big commandment there, because pig is a filthy animal. What about stuff out of waters? Which one?
Anything without those scales, that's not to be eaten as well.
What's that?
Anything without scales, not to be eaten good.
Exactly. Gotcha. Yeah, see, brother already know them. That's in Leviticus 11. What's something that we supposed to be wearing? Like, what's something that every brother up here got in common? The fringes. See, brother know a couple laws, man. Say, boy, you know what the fringes are for? You know what the fringes are for? Bring that out. The Numbers 15:38. I was like, there's a reason that we do it. It ain't just a trend. Or just wake up and decide to put things look like they hanging off a carpet on our clothes. So yeah, we make it look good, but you know, it actually serves a purpose as well. Got that?
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38.
Bring it out!
Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garment.
So we got to put them fringes on the bottom of the garment. Go ahead.
Throughout their generation, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
I said, so it don't matter what color the fringes are. You can have any of them. I got on black. Brother got on the gold and blue multicolored. Well, I got on the gold and red multicolored. You know what I'm saying? You can buy any color fringes, but as long as you got that ribbon of blue, then you in order. Read up.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So this is for us. You know, like, yeah, everybody else may see them, but this is a physical reminder. So every time you look down, you realize, oh man, I'm an Israelite. You know, it's certain things I gotta be doing. So when somebody do offer you, you know, catfish, offer you some shrimp, you know, they trying to pass you that blunt, you gotta be like, hey man, I can't pick that up. I'm the Lord's chosen people. Keep going.
And do them.
And what?
And do them.
No, just know about them.
And do them.
So we gotta be actually keeping the commandments. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Oh, you dropped that for a second. Nice talk. Ecclesiastes 12:13. How y'all doing, sisters?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not bad. You ever heard y'all Israelites?
Not quite like that.
Yeah. Say we be God's chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
I know I'm God's chosen.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
What the Lord say?
Fear God. And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
So that's the whole point of us even being here, is to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Give me Leviticus 23. Drop that. Give me Exodus 20 and 8. Yeah, I was like, definitely check into that flyer, brother. He worked on Roman. You got the Romans still? Romans 2 and 12.
Okay, I'm with you. I know what you got there. I'm cool with it.
Romans 2:12 now?
Okay, see that? Give me James 1:23.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 12. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law.
I said, so whether I'm like, if you don't know the laws, you're going to perish without them. If you do know the laws, you still going to perish without them. Because you got to actually start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Start actually meditating on this word. Start getting into these scriptures. Read more than what the pork chop pastor is telling you on Sundays. Go ahead.
And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law.
So knowing the laws, you got to actually be keeping the laws. Because the Lord going to hold you more accountable because you already know what you need to be doing in these last days. So when it's a Sabbath and you out shopping, you know what I'm saying, the Lord going to judge you for that, man. When you out fornicating knowing that you ain't supposed to, the Lord going to judge you for that, man.
That's right.
So when you serving white Jesus, because he ain't in the Bible, you know, when you serving wood and stone, you know, walking around the damn cobblestone bowing down to it, you going off. What you got?
All praise. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, and verse number 16.
Bring it out.
It said, and it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, the Lord liveth, as they taught my people to swear to Baal, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
No, saith man.
Saith the Lord.
Man, you're going to get destroyed in these last days because we want to sit there and worship Satan, not even knowing that we're doing it unawares, knowing when we going off, but still just giving in to that thing, being like, oh, well, you know, it feels good, so I'm going to just continue to do it. I say, you're going to get destroyed like that. I say, you have to swear, you know what I'm saying, to the Most High. Only time our people know anything about swearing is the Most High, just say, I'm on God, on God. Man, not knowing what that actually means, man. He gonna put you to death by going against every commandment that he put out there, man, for not living up to what we're supposed to be doing, which is the whole conclusion of man and keeping the commandments.
And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. For not the hearers of the law are just before God.
It says, so not the hearing, just hearing the word don't make you just. You're not righteous just by hearing the word. Go ahead.
But the doers of the law shall be justified. For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things containing in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves, which show the works of the law written in their hearts. Their conscience also bear witness, and their thoughts, the meanwhile accusing or else accusing one another. That's it. Gotta bring that out, James.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 23.
Read out!
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Read that one more time.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
So you can't cover up your sins, man. You can't cover them up. You gotta have faith and works in these last days, man. No matter what secret thing you do, the Lord knows about it, and you're gonna be judged for that, man. And you can't just be a hearer of the word, man. You gotta be a doer. You gotta stand on it, man. You gotta put your all into it. You can't say you can do all things through Christ, but then completely just neglect the law, statutes, and commandments. That's madness. Go ahead. Feel it all. What I got you hope? Oh no.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
I said the Lord, everything that he say, he repeated over and over and over in these books, man. That's why I don't see how people just walk around so blind. It only has to be the Lord got these people as blinded as they are, man. Because if you read this stuff, it clearly keep telling you that if you're wicked, you're going to get destroyed. You want to get caught up in sin, you're going to get destroyed. Keep going.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saying that I will not only destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations.
Say you're going to do what with the Israelites?
I will sift the house of Israel among all nations.
So you want to walk hand in hand with your oppressor, you're going to get dealt with just like they are, man. Because these people have to pay for the atrocities that they did to Israel all this time, man. The repeated captivities. Say how they forwarded the affliction, how they fed babies to alligators, how they whipped people, how they was raping people.
That's what it's at right now.
Not to mention the robbery and murder, man. They got a long track record that they got to pay for. They go around just on a daily basis thinking that they free, telling us to forget the past. That's madness, man. The Most High said, remember the days of old, man.
That's right.
Said that recompense is coming. Though it tarry, we waiting for it, man. We waiting patient for it. We waiting diligently for it. We praying for it. We hoping that we are that number, so when Yahushua come back, that we can be in the kingdom, man. Get these glorified bodies and come down here and wreak some havoc, man. Bring that out.
This the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners.
Say the Most High love everybody.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
No, he hate the sin, but love the sinner.
For the Most High hateth sinners. And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Say that mighty day of punishment is coming. Say when the sky crack, it's not going to be damn hugs and kisses, lullabies and rainbows, man. The Most High is coming, he's going to be destroying people. The slain of the Lord is going to be many from one end of the earth even unto the other end, man. Bring that up.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
I said, so it's going to be a day where brothers ain't going to be out on the corner no more. It's going to be days that coming where YouTube is going to be shut down and it ain't going to be no more videos. You ain't going to be able to just hop on there and select your favorite city and then find out where you can go hear the word, man. It ain't going to be a time where you can be like, oh, well, this the camp I agree with. I disagree with this one. I don't like their doctrine. It ain't going to be nobody out here spreading the word no more, man. And you ain't going to see no more brothers just walking around in fringes shaking the hand telling you to keep the commandments. Because we out here right now telling you that it's high time to awake out of sleep, man. But you running out of time. That grace period is coming up, man. The alarm clock is going off. The Lord is calling you, man.
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the words of the Lord, and shall not find it.
And shall what?
And shall not find it.
No, we always gonna be out here.
And shall not find it.
They gonna come down to Washington and 13th, and we gonna be standing right here.
And shall not find it.
We ain't gonna be out here no more, man. Lord gonna beam up all his elect, man, and we gonna be gone. How you doing, brother? What's your nationality? What would you call yourself as far as a race? You got an application, which box you checking? Got you. Well, you know where the terms Africa and America come from? So there's two different land masses that are named after two so-called white people. So you got Leo Scipio Africanus and you got Amerigo Vespucci. One was an Italian map maker and one was a Roman general. And they conquered places and they just named them after their own lands. Give me Psalm 49:11. And that stuff is in the Bible too. We're not just making it up.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever.
He said, and these heathens who are running the world, who you think is running the world, brother? Is it the so-called blacks, Hispanics, or Native Americans?
You got 2 minutes for the Bible? You got 2 minutes for the
Sorry,
Bible?
brother.
You know what? I know. You got 2 minutes for the Bible? You got 2 minutes for the Bible? Yeah, top of the mic.
Who you think running the world, brother? Is it the blacks, the Hispanics, or Native Americans? Who running it? You ain't gotta be afraid to say it. They just passed you by. I said, yeah, man. Yeah, it's him. See, the Lord always provides an answer for you. Right there. They the ones that's running the world, man. Bring it out.
Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever.
I said, and their inward thought is that these land masses, all these cities, all these buildings, you know what I'm saying, the governments that they built up, their inward thought is that it's going to always be here. That this establishment is never going to be broken down. Go ahead.
And their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names.
I said, and they call their lands after their own names. Even here, this city, St. Louis, that's named after the so-called white man. Every landmass you're going to go to has been conquered by them. That's why even the Puerto Ricans, the Ephraimites, them are our brothers. But their land has been called Puerto Rico, which is a rich port. And that's because they went over there and just saw all the riches that they could get out of it, man. The same thing they did here. When the Gadites, the Native Americans was here, and they was building up their own properties, and, you know what I'm saying, growing food and all that stuff, and they just came and destroyed them. See, they keep going by. But they can hear their judgment too if they want to stick around.
That's right.
Yo, bring that out.
This the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
I said, and ain't that what happened to us? We don't know who we are. We forgot our history. And now people just think that we just started with slavery 400 years ago. You hear that verse, brother? Bring that out again.
This the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So ain't America a land that we didn't know? That they told us that they took us from Africa, and we forgot our heritage. We don't know what language we spoke. We didn't know the way that we dressed. Didn't know the food that we ate. And now we just serving the other nations in a land that we don't know. Because we didn't know this place. This ain't our homeland. We wasn't over here where they got chemtrails in the sky, where they changing the times all year long. They give you daylight saving time. adding hours and taking away hours of the day. They mess with the calendar so many times. Used to be 8 days in a week. When the Lord said from the beginning that it's always been a 7-day week. Said, and then they even changed the times. They got us saying that the day starts at 12 a.m. be midnight. How's a new day starting in the middle of the night? That's madness. Bring out Job. You got Job 9:24. Yeah, hold that.
Job 9:24.
Say, because these people, man, they messed up every way of thinking that we had. So now we don't even question the things that we actually see on a daily basis, the things that we go through. Bring it up. And how did we get here to this land? Exactly. So we got a verse for that too. I'm gonna bring that out in just a second.
This the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Bring it out. A second ago we was talking about who run this world, man. That the Lord's gonna bring it out on who that was.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
I said, and the wicked, they cover the faces of the judges thereof. Our judge is the Lord, man. Will be Yasharahla, who the world so ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. They covered him up. They made him a white man. That's a damn sodomite. You know what I'm saying? That they had relations with his own sister. You know, that's madness. This is the Pope, Pope VI's son. I was like, his gay lover is the one that painted him. They gave us all these images. Where that's on it? They gave us all these images right here. That's why they call it iconoclasm, which is whitewashing. So we think that all the angels are white. We think that all the prophets in the Bible are white. When actually these are our people. They be from the 12 tribes of Israel. We know that it wouldn't be the people that's over there in the land pretending to be us now, because them people, they can't even deal with the sun. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just showed that it's not the real people in the land right now. The Lord said that we be serving people from other nations in the land that we didn't know. And this is our fault. And I asked you how we got over here. You said we came over here by ships. Bring that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
You familiar with Moses? What's the popular thing Moses did?
Put everybody on the ship and like, I don't know, I don't be reading it like that. But
Yeah, you thinking about Noah with the ark? Yeah. But Moses, he had got the Israelites out of captivity in Egypt, and he got them. He put his staff down in the ground, and it split the Red Sea, and they just walked straight through. So this is actually a prophecy that came after all that happened. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
All right, so starting at the top of that verse, he said that he brought them into Egypt again. So I was just telling you that they already had left Egypt before. Give me Exodus 13:3. So this time he's not talking about the physical landmass of Egypt. This time he's talking about a spiritual Egypt. Because we already just said that when they was in Egypt the first time, they were slaves over there. That's when we building up the pyramids and stuff then. Bring that out.
This the book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 3.
Bring it out.
And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out the house of bondage.
Out of what?
Out the house of bondage.
And that bondage, you know, what's the modern term for that? It's an S word. It's the what trade? Exactly. So we're serving in captivity then. We're in hard bondage then. So in Deuteronomy 28:68, he said he bring us into Egypt again. Read that one more time.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So he already said we wouldn't see Egypt again. You know, this time it's a whole different landmass. We dealing with a spiritual Egypt this time.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
I said, so when we got off that boat, what happened? And we hit that auction block. So they put us up there and they bet the lowest. I mean, they were sitting there bidding on us. Same way they do with eBay now. They're sitting there bidding on us. They had us stand up there and just like the combine, you know, with like the NBA, you know, when they standing up there, you gotta do your wingspan, they measuring your height, your weight, you know what I'm saying? They were sitting there sold seeing you off. What's your last name? See? So to the Wilson plantation.
Black Friday.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing of Black Friday is now. We think Black Friday cool because, you know, right after Thanksgiving, they got the deals. That's a thing that was happening a long time ago. That ain't something that's just modern. You know, that's what the original Black Friday was, them having deals on us, man. Like buy one, get one. Damn. That's madness. Keep going on that verse.
Damn. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your cousins.
Unto your enemies. For bond men and bond women. And no man shall buy you.
So you be sold for slave men and slave women, and nobody is there to buy you. So clearly just say that we sold. So that word, you got to actually look into the etymology of that word, and it go down to redeem. So you got like Martin Luther King, you got Marcus Garvey, you know, Malcolm X. None of them people was able to get us out of captivity. So even with the Underground Railroad, Sister said that she could have freed even more slaves if they just knew that they were slaves. But our people are convinced that we have to lean on these other nations to take care of us. Give me that in the Deuteronomy 28. Give me 1 second, bro. I'm trying to remember which verse this was.
48?
Come on, 48. 28, 48.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Bring it up.
Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So now we're going to break that down. He said in hunger. He said where you got to go to get your food at. Every restaurant, every grocery store. You know what I'm saying? That you got to go to them in one of all things because none of our people own those. What's the next one?
In hunger and in thirst.
I was like, so in thirst, every soda, every tea, every bit of water. You can't even just collect rainwater. They gonna find you. You gotta actually buy water from them. That's madness, ain't it? So that's a curse on our people. Next one.
And in nakedness.
I said, so in all your clothes. I said, that hoodie you got on, the Levi's, the Nikes, everything, we gotta go through them. Even if, like this brother right here, he can go start up his own clothing company, but guess who he gotta buy the shirts from? Who own Gildan? Who own Fruit of the Loom? Who own Hanes? You know what I'm saying? To even get the t-shirts, like, yeah, he can put his own logo on it. You know what I'm saying? He can make whatever colors he want. He can add the fringes on it, make it all stylish. But who is he still buying all these things from? Exactly. So it still got to go to the other nations. Go ahead.
And in nakedness. And in want of all things.
I said, so no matter what, you got to go through them. They make you get a passport just to go anywhere. But they say this is the land of the free. How you free if they got a stamp everywhere you going? They say for you to even go to other countries, you got to get different shots. Just to be able to fly somewhere to go see a different landmass, go see, you know, how people living somewhere else. I was like, you need you get stopped, you got to have that driver license. If not, what happened? You get locked up. I was like, even when you die, you still subject to payments because your family, if they ain't have no life insurance on you, they gotta come out of pocket just to bury you. Can't even just put you in the ground and just let your body be. It's madness. So this place is holding us down, man. But read Deuteronomy 28:15. So, but we gonna show you why these curses even came about. Because we already know that we live in, you know, generational curses, but the Lord gonna tell us why.
You said 15? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it up.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these blessings,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Says, so if we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments that Moses gave us, when he was on Mount Sinai, actually talking to the Most High, that we'd have to go through all these curses. So them few verses that we just brought out was some of the curses. You familiar with any of the laws? Gotcha. I'm gonna bring out a couple of them, and then I'm gonna pass it to the next brother if you got a minute to hearken. Give me Leviticus, and then give me Numbers.
1538.
Yeah. So we gonna bring out just a few of them for you, and I'm gonna let the next brother build.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7.
What kind of food you like to eat? Yeah. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. They're good for you, man. Everything that comes from the earth is gonna be good.
And the swine.
You know what swine is? Exactly. We're gonna see what the Lord say about pork.
Though divided the hoof, he be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
He says, so he has a split hoof. The bottom of his hoofs are hard, just like most cattle. But the Most High said that it cheweth not the cud. It don't actually digest the food that it eats. Go ahead.
He is unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the... Shalaka. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7.
Bring it out!
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
The Lord say he don't even want you touching the pig because it's such a filthy animal. When you look at like a farm, the pig is actually there to clean up all the slop that's left over on the field. So you gotta think all that stuff that you eating, you just eating what he done ate. And he just eat some of everything. Like I bring it out all the time. We just seen a video a couple weeks ago. It was a pig eating a dead body. You gotta think you consuming that stuff, man. That's disgusting. And then it don't have any pores. It don't even sweat out anything. So all them toxins that it consume is just staying within that animal. But we're gonna read on verse 9, go talk about what you can eat out of waters. Do you like fish? Not really? Gotcha. I'm still bring out a couple because you never know. You may be out to dinner, with a lady or something, and she might be eating something that the Lord told her not to. So you gotta be able to uplift your sister and correct them. Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 9.
Bring it out!
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters and in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So what in the water has fins and scales? What's going on, Luan? Yeah, I was like fish. But not all fish have fins and scales. Because you look like catfish, they may have fins, but they don't have scales. Like you try to grab a catfish, that thing will slide right up out of your hands, man. But the Lord said that he wants you to eat stuff that got the fins and scales. Go ahead.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
He said, so everything else is abomination to you. So all the crab, all the lobster, things that the heathens have told us been delicacies. You go in a restaurant, man, they tell you that lobster, you gotta pay like 40, 50 bucks for that thing. And it's a bottom feeder. You gotta look at that the same way you look at scorpions, same way you look at spiders, same way you look at roaches. You got a roach on your wall, you ain't about to go pick that thing up and just eat it, man. That's disgusting. That's the same thing you gotta do with all the bottom feeders of the ocean, man. So, but with that, I'm gonna let the next brother get in and build with you a little bit more. Before you leave, I want you to actually go over a couple of these commandments. I want to see what you remember. But actually, one more. Get that Numbers.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speaking to the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garment.
So the Lord said that he wanted Moses to bid us. That means command.
In the borders of their garments, throughout their generations.
You know what fringes are? What's something that all the brothers up here got in common? Sisters even got them on too. The things on the bottom of our shirt. to those called fringes. We're gonna show you what the fringe is about.
Make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders of a ribbon of blue.
So it don't matter what color the fringe is, it matter that you got that ribbon of blue. Because you see like a couple brothers got black, sister got red on, got white. Brother Dewad got the red and the gold on. Saying Gedalia, where you go? Somewhere around here, he got the multicolored blue and gold on. It don't matter the color of the fringe, it's just that you got that ribbon of blue. And yeah, it may look stylish, but there's a reason that we wear them. Go ahead.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and to do them.
What?
And to do them.
I just heard about them.
And to do them.
And so we gotta do this as a commandment so we remember the other laws, statutes, and commandments. Because you may have heard that, you know, about the 10 commandments, but there's actually a lot more than that. But I'm gonna let the next brother get in and edify you a little bit more in ways that I cannot. So with that, call me Yasharahla.